students. Hope you all are doing well. And today we are going to start the unit second of this course. And before starting this unit second, we just recall what we have done in unit first, right? So in unit first, as you all remember, that we have done with the basic introductory part of C, like history of C, features of C, and uses of C. And after that, we have started with that constructs which is used in C programming language, like we have done conditional statements, right? We have done with looping statements, and we have done that go to statement, what is the use of break, continue, right? So that all basic concepts, what is the difference between keyword identifier, what is the difference between variable and constants, and also all types of data types which is available in C. So students, if you all remember that while discussing the topic data types in C, I told you all that there is a basic, you can say that classification, or the two types of categories are there for data types. One is that primitive data types, and another is like derived data types. And that time I told you all that derived means user defined data type, right? So in user defined data type, first one is that arrays. And I told you all that arrays, pointers, and enumerated data type. Once we have finished that unit first, we are going to learn about each and every types of this derived data type, right? So hope you all have that concept very clear to all, that we have what we have done in unit first. Now today we are going to start the unit second, which is arrays, right? So first I will tell you what is the objective of this class, and so we are going to discuss here what is an array, why we need array, how to declare array in C programming, how to initialize an array, and how to access the elements of an array, right? So first we are going to define what is an array, right? An array is a data structure in C programming which can store a fixed size sequential collection of elements of the same data type. I am focusing here same data type, means in other words we can define this array as array is a collection of homogeneous data elements. Homogeneous means same data type. So now you all understand that what is an array means. See, before that we are having data types, we are declaring that variables by using any of the data type. Like if you want to add two numbers of integer type, then you are declaring the two variables. Like if you are want to add that numbers that is integer numbers, so you are declaring int a comma b semicolon. So that significance or the meaning of that line is we are declaring here a and b as a integer variable, right? So now I told you that array is a collection of homogeneous data element. So when we are having that need that we want to that numbers which is of same data type, it may be float, it could be int, it could be character, right? So when we have that need of declaring variables of same data type, and it will be like more than 10, 100, so it's better to use array rather than declaring variable individually, right? So this is the definition, and you have to remember and you have to focus that same data type or that word homogeneous, right? So we can say that arrays hold the elements of int data type, while array having that type float can hold the data types of floating point numbers. So means while declaring an array, just like in variable, we have to declare or a name of an array, and before that name, just like in variable, we have to define that data type. So by seeing that data type, we can conclude that this array is going to hold that integer type number, or whether going to hold that floating type number. Means by the data type only, we are going to conclude that we are storing that this type of elements in our particular array, right? So hope this definition is clear to you all, and once we are going to start that syntax initialization, so you all are able to got that what is an array and how you are going to use it this in your programming language. And also I will tell you that this array is of having different types also, like we are having one dimensional array, two dimensional array, and also multi-dimensional array. But it in your syllabus that practically we have to do only 1D and 2D array. And you all have done that matrices in maths, right? So like matrix, we are having the two-dimensional array. So you all know that matrix is a which consists of rows and columns. So similarly, if we are talking about that arrays of type 2D, that means it consists of rows and columns. So today is the class of basic introductory class of array. So now you can see this is the pictorial representation of array, where one array is declared having size 5, and we have mentioned here that indices, right? Indices started from 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what it means is that whenever you are declaring an array of any size, it may be of any size, it depends on your requirement. So suppose here in this picture we have shown that size of array is 5. So indices means you can say that base address also, means first element is going to store at 0 location. Means if you are having array is having size of 5, so you can find your array element, or you can access your array element with the help of this indices. Means your first element will be stored at if your array name is A, then your first element will be stored at A of 0, then A of 1, then A of 2, then your last element will be stored like way in A of 4. So this indices is also very important with this concept of array. So whenever you are declaring an array of any size, it could be n, means if you are having array sizes of size n, so you have to remember that your first element will be stored at indices 0 and your last element will be stored at n minus 1. Okay. So if it start from 0 and end up with n minus 1, so automatically 0 to n minus 1, that all elements will be stored. Means that size which you have declared for that array, that all elements will be stored in your particular array, right? Now after discussing this what is array and the pictorial representation of array, the most important question is that why we need arrays, right? So see students, if I'm giving you all as task that, because till now you are not having any idea of array, and what you have learned in unit 1 is that only data types, primitive data types. See, so if I am giving you a task that students you have to add or you have to define 100 variables, like 100 variables of integer type. So because you have no idea about array, so what you will do, you will declare, like if I'm saying that all that 100 elements is of integer type, so you will declare int. Suppose you are giving that you are going to give that name like a1 a2, so you are going to declare int a1 a2 a3 up till 100. So see, 100 of variables you are going to declare, right? And 100 times you are going to use that input statement, that is scanf. Means you have to write for inputting that variables, you have to write that a of scanf %d and %a1 and %a1 2. So see, you have to write this thing to 100 times, right? So it like time consuming also, or if you are having that 100, it is very difficult to remember that variable name. So here it is 100, maybe it be your requirement is more than 100, so it is very difficult to learn that names of that all types of variable. So is there any solution to have a single integer array to store all that values, right? And we loop that array to store all that entered values. Yes, this is that solution which is best suited to this problem. What problem means, if you want to store or you want to declare 100 elements, so now you use array, because earlier what I said if you want to declare or store elements of same data type, and here I have given you a problem that you have to store 100 elements of integer type. So yes, the solution of this problem is you declare array of integer type having size 100. So isn't it, it is a good solution for this problem, because only once you are declaring like data type, then array name, and within that square brackets you have to given that size. So this is that declaration of array, which we'll see later on when we show in that next slide that syntax of array. So this is that need. So now I hope you all understand, whenever we are having that requirement to declare, so it is easy to declare 1 2 3 4 5 variable, but if the variable you need that variables are having means more than 100, more than thousands of variable you need to declare, so it is not good practice to declare 100 times that variable. If it is of same type, so array is the best solution for the problem. Now see, this is the array memory representation. Means I shown earlier also that pictorial representation, and I focused on word indices. Means your very first element of array is stored at indices 0, and last element is ended with indices n minus 1. So here in this memory representation, the size of array is 12. Means your array is capable to store 12 elements of integer type, right? So the index of that array start with 0. So the array having 12 elements has indices from 0 to n minus 1. That means 0 to 11. So you can see in your memory. And one thing you have to also remember, that in memory, why we have focuses on memory representation, because one thing you have to remember, that that arrays contains that elements of same type, and so your element is storing in contiguous memory allocation. Means, what does this means? Contiguous means after ending that one element, second will be on the next location. How? See, in this picture we have stored 12 elements, right? And all the 12 elements is of integer type, right? So see, integer is having size 2 byte. Okay, so first element will occupy 2 bytes. Suppose the address of first element is whatever that address is given to by compiler to that element or our array. So first element is stored. Suppose I'm giving just a random number. Suppose the address of first element of an array is 100, right? So the next element means that second element of our array will be stored at location 102. Why? Because we are using integer, and integer is of 2 bytes. So 100 plus 2, 102. Similarly, 2 to 2 increment will be there, because array occupies that contiguous memory allocation. So hope it is clear to you all, because whenever, suppose if your array is of type floating type, so what is the size of float? 4 bytes. So if your first element is stored in first location and that address is 100, so the next element address will be 104. Why? Because floating type data type is having size 4 bytes. So then 4, 4, 4 will be differentiated because it occupies that continuous, means continuity is there, no gap is there. Started from 0 till n minus 1, your all array element will be stored, but it depends on that data type size, means whatever the size, means for one element, because all elements of integer type, so in memory that integer size will be there. So first element is stored, the next element will be stored at next location, but it depends on the type, whether it is going to occupy 2 byte, 1 byte or 4 byte. So this is that array memory representation. Now this is that syntax, you can say, or how to declare an array. See, for declaring an array, as you all are familiar with declaring a variable, so same you have to do. The only difference is that we have to use square brackets after the array name. So see the syntax. Syntax is for declaring an array is as follows: data type, array name, and within that square brackets array size, and then semicolon. For example, if you want to declare an array A of integer type having size 100, so I will write int A 100 in your screen. Data is the name of array, so int data 100, right? So this is similar to the variable declaration. Now you see the difference. If you have to declare that 100 elements or a variable of integer type, so you have to declare it at 100 times. Like if your variable name is a1 a2 up till a100, so you are going to write a1 comma a2 comma a3 up till a100. So this array resolves your problem. Now after giving only one name and that size, you can access or you can store all your 100 elements in an array. Clear? So similarly, if according to your requirement, you can declare your array as a float, as a character, right? So and here one thing is very important, that if once you have declared your array with that size and the type, the data type of array, it is, once it is declared, it cannot be changed, means it will occupy that memory location. So I will suggest you all that according to that requirement you declare, because sometimes students are declaring if problem is like add 5 numbers, so they are just writing at the time of declaration, they are writing int a 100, and we are not going to store that 100 elements. But once you declare, just like variable, memory location will be occupied for this array. So what is this? Wastage of memory. So unless and until you are not having that requirement of 100 elements, you don't declare that size. According to your requirement, you declare the size of an array, right? Otherwise, no array will become, but it's a wastage of memory. So better to declare the type and that size of an array according to the need of your program. Okay. I hope, because it is very similar to that declaration of variable and that array, only the difference of that square bracket. Now very interesting thing, when you are going to access that array elements, right? See here in that array name, that marks 0 1, marks 1, marks 2, marks 3, marks 4. What is this? Means this is an array of size 5. How we know that size of array is 5? Because last element is stored, or the indices of last element is 4. So I earlier I told you all that last element will be stored at n minus 1. So size is n minus 1, so it's 4. So 5 minus 1, 4. So size of array is 5. Now how you are going to access that array elements? You declare, and that element is stored in that array. So how you are going to access this element? Through this indices. Means if I am going to printf and our array is of integer type, and I'm writing in output statement that printf percent is, you all know that format specifier, and comma a of, sorry, array name is that marks, so here you will write marks of 0. So in output screen what I'm getting that value, or that your first element of your array. Suppose you are entering 25, so in output screen 25 will be print. And suppose if you want to access that third element of an array, so third element will be stored at 1 less, means 3 minus 1 2. So for accessing the third element you have to write printf %d comma a of 2. So after execution of this statement you are getting with that third element. So in this way you can access your element. Now later on I will tell you, because it is also very time consuming. Here array size is of 5, so it is easy to write printf 5 times and access one by one marks 0, marks 1, marks 2, marks 3, and so on up till marks 5. But again, if we have stored that 100 elements, so it is very difficult to write again. So we'll use loop. We'll tell you how. So before that loop that we have declared, and see if just like variable in unit first I told you variable declaration and variable initialization, right? Initialization means while at the time of declaration you are giving that all elements of an array of an variable, so this is known as that initialization. Means when you are declaring int marks 5, so except writing this semicolon, use that equal to, and within that curly braces you give that all 5 elements, then put semicolon. So here what does it mean? Same time you are declaring and initializing your array. Clear? Means just like variable, if you want to declare your uh, initialize your array at the time of declaration, so yes, you can do this. Okay. Okay, now change value of an array element. Means if you want to change that value of an array element, can you able to change this? Yes, because it is similar to your variable, and you all know that variable value can be varied throughout the program. So similarly, suppose initially in your screen it is visible that we have declared an array of name marks having size 5, and at the time of declaration we have initialized that all 5 elements like 19, 10, 8, 17 and 9, right? Now I want to change that second element of my array, or you can say in this screen we have changed the third element of this array. So what we have to write? We have to just write marks 2 is equals to whatever that new value you want to assign, you can write there and then semicolon. I will correlate with this with variable so that it will be very easy to you all see. If you are declaring a variable int a is equals to 10, semicolon, what does it mean? Here we declared a as an integer type, and we have initialized, we have assigned that value to a is 10. Okay. Now I want to store, or I want to update that value of a. So in next line I am going to write a is equals to a plus 1. So what is that? If after this statement, if I am going to print this the value of a, what I am getting? 11, because I added 1 to that current value of the variable a, right? So I am getting 11. Similarly, in case of array, if you have initialized, you have declared your array, so and according to need you want to update, just I have given here that marks example. Sometime you all are have that issue that you are, while your faculty is showing that your exam copies and some question is not checked, or some something or totaling mistake, so your marks will be updated, right? So in this case, if we are using that array, right? So we need to update that marks. Okay, so we can do it easily, just writing that location name means array name, and that indices in which that particular element is stored, and with the help of that equal to, that is assignment operator, we can assign that updated value. So here you can see marks 2 is equals to -1 semicolon, means whatever that initially at the time of declaration, what we have in the place of marks 2, we have 8. Now we have replaced this 8 to -1. So after this, writing this statement, that is marks 2 is equals to -1, once you are running your array or you are executing your array and you are going to print that all elements of array, you are getting -1 in the place of third element, not 8. Okay, so in this way you can change means you can update, you can modify your array element. That size and name cannot be altered, but that value can be altered anytime. Okay, now here I am going to conclude this lecture. What we have learned? We have learned what is array, right? How that array elements are going to store in that memory, and you have to remember that the array is having contiguous memory allocation. And one more important point which you have to remember with this array is that index of that first element, or you can say that the index of array starts with 0, means your first element is going to store at 0 location, and that size and that array name cannot be changed once it is declared. Okay, so this is all about this session, and this is the reference. You all can go for detailed study of this array, and in our next lecture we will study the types of an array, and after that we will do some problems, so that you all are having that idea for practically how we are going to use. So for meanwhile, thank you all, and just go through this basic concept of an array, and hope this session will be very useful for you all. Thank you so much.